Well, hi once again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers. I'm your host, Dennis Silvers, and we're happy that you're tuning in and listening, whatever platform you're on. We've got a terrific show for you today. We've got a gentleman that we're very, very pleased to have, because he's a hard guy to get because he's so darn busy. But anyway, it promises to be a very, very good, informative show for you. Hope you're having a chance to get out and play some golf. The weather here in Las Vegas is chilly. In fact, it's not unheard of, but doesn't happen that often right here in the desert. We've actually had some frost delays because the temperature in certain parts of the valley have been getting down in the 30s, and it's cold, so it's playable if you don't mind layering up and stuff like that and trying to stay warm. But I'm waiting for summer again, because, as you know, if you're following me, I'm a hot weather guy. Anyway, let me tell you about our very special guest today, Mr. Tom Stickney. Tom is a very well recognized and respected golf magazine alumni, top 100 golf instructor. He is the director of instruction at both Bighorn Golf Club in Palm Desert, California, one of my favorite places, as well as the Promontory Club in beautiful Park City, Utah. So if you're not skiing or playing golf, you can do one or the other. Tom is only a handful of TrackMan masters, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. He is a former tour player himself and a very prolific writer, having published over 125 national instructional articles that have been seen in some very, very well-known golf publications, a lot of them. And you probably have read some of his stuff. They're, all over the place. But anyway, our pleasure right now to bring on our guest, Mr. Tom Stickney. Tom, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're so happy to have you. I know you just got back from the PGA show. What can you tell us a little bit about what's going on at the show?
Well, I tell you what, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Pleasure.
Looking forward to talking to you again. The show itself was a blast. There were a lot of people there, a lot of good products, and I think the change and where the show kind of has gone up and down like this. I think now is back. And people are coming back again. There are a couple big vendors that weren't there, but I think you'll start to see those come back out here very, very soon. But it was great. The products were great. Yeah. A lot of people there, so it was a lot of fun. I enjoy going to the show, seeing everybody I don't get the chance to see all the time, and then getting to see the new additions of a lot of the technological products in the teaching industry that I get a chance to play with.
Yeah. Did you go to demo day, by the way?
No, I didn't. I was on the lesson tee, and I tell you, it was quite cold and rainy, so they didn't have a very good demo day.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, very unusual for that part of the country to have cold and rain and temperatures at night in the 30, and it just makes me chilly just thinking about it.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I feel bad for the vendors and all the people that had to set up. But they said it was. But the new products were really good though. Yeah. From whatever they said. So that's a plus.
Yeah, that's what everybody's waiting for. Later in the month when all the shops start bringing out the new stuff and people start shopping for some new sticks and stuff. But let me start off, Tom, and ask you this. How does a brand new golfer find out or know what swing philosophy works best for them? Is it more on the student or on the instructor to educate in that manner?
Wow, that's a great question. I think you don't know what you don't know. As a new golfer. So I would say to do some research in your area and figure out, through some of the, the lists like the top 100, the top 50, the Golf Digest best teachers in state. I'd start off there, see if you have anybody in your area that can help you, and then also talk to your friends that are taking lessons, and whom are they taking lessons from, and where
Yeah.
do they go, and what technology is used. I think that's probably the best way to start. And then, I always tell people, I said, call the teacher and interview the teacher. And I know a new golfer probably doesn't know,
Yeah.
but ask somebody, what does this guy teach? What does this girl teach? And
It's
do
good
they seem to be
advice.
successful with what level of
Yeah.
player? And I think a lot of the teachers can teach certain levels, and they're pretty good at what they do in that regard. So I think if you'll find that out and find out what level player they mainly work with, you can kind of find the right gal or guy to help you
Yeah.
and get
No,
started.
that's very, very good advice. It's interesting to me, Tom, that all of these various swing philosophies that have developed over the last few decades uh, all want to accomplish the same end result, and that is primarily delivering the club face square to the ball.
Exactly. And I think we all want the same things as instructors. We just kind of all differ on how to get there and what's best for the
Yeah.
students. Some people want you on your left post, some people want you on your center post, some people want you on your right post. And I think the best teachers in the world can adapt to whatever the student wants, can do physiologically, as well as what's best for the quickest result.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. You gotta dig into it. You gotta kind of do your homework because it's different strokes for different folks. And I was talking to somebody the other day, something that you're very familiar with a golfing machine,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's still around. And whenever I think of the golfing machine, Tom, I think of Ben Doyle.
Oh yeah, he was the guy that trained me
Yeah.
out of California,
Yeah,
Carmel Valley.
what a great. I remember being there with him and Bobby Clampett when Bobby was doing a clinic there, and it was just absolutely fascinating. In your opinion, Tom, is there too much information out there today with YouTube, books, golf publications, discs that are confusing the weekend warrior? And what should they do, would you advise, to keep them from getting confused? You could pick up a golf magazine and learn how to fade the ball 4 different ways. And after a while, you're going, what am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. I just had this conversation with one of my students the other day before I left for the show. They were saying that I've been guilty of going down a rabbit hole on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I'm just not sure where to go and what to do. And I told them, and I said, "Sir, what you need to focus in on is the right instructors." And there's some
Correct.
really good information out there. There's some really bad information out there, and there's stuff that's in between. And I said, ask me what I think are the places you should go seek, and the people you should listen to, because I know your golf swing, and I know the guys and girls that teach the better ways to get you there. Here again, I
Right.
might suggest advanced motion golf for somebody. I might suggest George Gankus for somebody else. I might
Yeah.
suggest David Levetter for somebody else, or what have you. To me, I'm not biased. I know they get to hear plenty of me, so I like to send them other places so they can hear some other stuff. I mean, you can obviously go to my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram and hear all the stuff that you want from me. But I also like to have a different idea for some other people as well.
Yeah. Well, it comes back to the old saying, Tom, two heads are better than one.
Mhm.
Sometimes in golf, but it's really not easy. What I'm interested to get your answer on this. Can you have can somebody become a good player or even an elite player without having a good mental game? They rely strictly on really good mechanics, which I think are important, but don't have quite the mental game that they need. Can they still become a very, very good player?
Under certain circumstances, when there's no pressure, when it doesn't matter. when you're on the range. They can hit the ball as an elite ball striker. That doesn't mean that they can handle pressure, adversity, handle their emotional state. So I think that you can become a very good ball striker with a weak mental game under certain circumstances, and be very successful under certain circumstances. When you have to put the pencil to the paper, that's where it changes for a lot of people. And it's funny. There's people that can play golf for fun, do well. There's people that can play golf and gamble and do well, and there's people that can play golf in tournaments and do well, and that's not necessarily the same person.
Yeah.
In all three instances. I mean, I take myself for example. I'm a much better gambler than I am a tournament player. I'm a very weak tournament player. I don't know why. If I knew that, I'd probably figured it out a long time ago, but just not my cup of tea. But I guess maybe the thing of gambling and having a partner that if you shell one out of bounds, you're going to be okay for at least one hole. I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can you be? Does it help you? You're a former tour player, so you can walk the walk and talk the talk. Does that help you as an instructor because you've been there, done that?
No question. I think my tenure was very short, and it was fun, and I realized very quickly that my talents lied in helping people stop slicing and hooking the golf ball. But I think having a little taste of professional golf is something that it was fortuitous for my resume. It really helps me to understand what goes on when you're standing on the 18th hole and you're trying to make the cut, or you're trying to make a couple dollars to cover your expenses and things like that. All too often, people just, I think more than anything else, you just need to play golf. You need to play as much tournament golf as you can if that's what you aspire to do. Yeah. You need to spend as much time in the competition as you can. And like I said before, just going out and playing gambling games will help you a little bit, but it's not the same thing as putting the pencil to the paper. And so, playing every Monday qualifier, every 1-day tournament, every 2-day tournament, every 3-day tournament, every 4-day tournament, you can sign up for. And I think if you do that, you'll have some opportunities for success.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Or at least you'll figure out what you're good at. You'll figure out if that's your cup
well
of tea.
Said. I totally agree. I think that really turns and shapes somebody as far as competitive golf, and I think a lot of the older players, if you will, like on the Legends Tour and stuff, they miss really having a lot of competitive golf come their way, and that's just my opinion. Before we take our first break, Tom, what's the commonality of problems that most of your students come to see you for?
Everybody wants the same thing. Why am I inconsistent? Why can I not deliver the club and the ball the same way club to the ball the same way twice? And why can I not have a predictable shot pattern? And a lot of that comes from a two-way miss. Anytime you start to swing the club from the outside to the inside, as most amateurs do, you hang on to it, you're going to hit blocks, you whip, you shut it down, you're going to hit hooks. Yeah. And so I think a lot of players, since coming over the top is usually the biggest flaw that I see. The two-way miss is another flaw, and then I think that's where consistency goes out the window. Yeah,
I agree with you. All right, Tom, stand by. We're up against our first short break, and when we come back, we will have a lot more with our special guest, top 100 instructor, Mr. Tom Stickney. Back right after this.
The youngest golf CEO in the country, Carter Bonus of Spectrum Golf, preparing for his second annual Autism Awareness Golf Tournament and the anticipated release of his first book, Swinging Beyond the Spectrum. At just 13, Carter has overcome multiple trials and celebrated many triumphs. Now hear his moving story told in his own words. The book Swinging Beyond the Spectrum, How Autism Became My Superpower on and off the golf course is on pre-sale now. Buy the book and get a free t-shirt. Register today for the golf tournament or sponsor it. Go to cartersspectrumgolf.com for details.
I'm Dennis Silvers, host of the 19th Hole Golf Podcast, asking each and every person who plays golf, beginner or seasoned player, what's the most important club in your bag? Chances are you'll get a lot of different answers. There really is only one right answer. And if you guessed your putter, you are 100% correct. Just ask any professional golfer, man or woman who plays on any major tour. I am very excited to announce that Zebra Golf, one of the game's most iconic putter brands, has made a long-awaited return to golf's retail marketplace with the launch of their milled series that feature 4 new putter styles designed to suit even my putting stroke. All putters, like golf clubs, are not created equal. Zebra milled putters are now offered in your choice of 4 awesome models, 2 blades, 1 mallet, and 1 higher MOI Fang design, with adjustable weights available to help customize your putter. All come with a mid-size grip for enhanced feel. So, if you want the one club that's going to lower your scores, why wait? Go to zebragolf.com and put one in your bag today. The only thing you've got to lose are strokes. All right, we're back with Tom Stickney. And Tom, let me ask you, most people are saying putter and driver today. Would you agree with that? The 2 most important clubs in your bag?
No question. You got to drive for show and putt for dough, as they say.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to make par when you shell it out of bounds or in the water.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're 3-whipping it all over the place, it's tough to score.
Yeah, it really is. Tom, what's the most important, in your opinion, the most important asset all good teachers like yourself have?
Patience. Patience is a virtue. No,
I knew you were going to say no. I can believe that. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I have a lot of energy, obviously, and the one thing that I can slow down and do and have patience with is golf instruction. Don't ask me why. No, you know, I've certainly gotten better as I've gotten older, but that was not my strong suit back in the day. But, you know, I think patience is a good thing. Communication skills, understanding motor learning concepts is certainly effective. And then also being a little bit of a psychologist, you know, understanding the people. You know, I always say the kids that have this amazing access to all this information, you know, and they study the swing, they know just about as much, if not more, than us old guys do. What they don't have is the 10,000 hours on the lesson tee to deal with, you know, Mr. Haverkamp who's a quadruple type A, and then another person who's a type B, and another person who's got a bad temper, and another person that's got that's not listening. You know, they just don't know how to deal with those personality types as of yet. But they'll learn quicker than we will, and they're going to be better teachers than we were, and the next generation will be better than they are. So it's a way for us to give back a little bit.
Yeah. How extensively do you interview new people that want to come to you for lessons, as far as, you know, what they hope to achieve and you know, their biggest problems playing golf, and where they'd like to get to?
You know, I try to vet everybody, you know, for some sort of understanding of what they want. You know, I try to be very well versed in all the swing styles and instructional styles out there. So if somebody comes to me and their golf machine or their gravity golf, or they're the A swing or their natural golf, or you know, or what have you, that I have some relevant idea of what's going on. And if somebody comes in and says, well, I did stack and tilt, but I modified it just a little bit with some more ag concept like O'Grady, you've got to have some idea of what's going on. But if they come in and they start to talk about things that go against the grain, sometimes it's better to send them to somebody else. I'm not, like, prime example, I'm not a very good touchy-feely teacher as far as the Zen and the million different ideas on how you're going to feel things. Sure, I've got a toolbox full of feels that I use, but there's certainly people that are better at teaching the kinesthetic feels, whereas I'm a little bit stronger in the visual and the verbal side. So I think we all have to look at what we're weak and what we're strong at as teachers. And if a student comes and they're very touchy-feely, I might send them to somebody else, or if they're very visual, I might send them, whatever. So it really all depends on what's best for the student, if you're doing what's best for the student. So I try to vet everybody effectively.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I've got to see it. I've got to kind of feel it, like you said, to really get a grasp on what I'd like to do. Your thoughts about the Live Tour, Tom?
My
a
thoughts
lot of back and forth going on today, and I don't think it's going to end for a while. But
no, it seems to have deep pockets.
Deep pockets.
I hate the diversity and the division in golf right now. I'd like to see the best players play together, but gosh, when they're throwing that kind of money out, that's generational money. That's not just life-changing money. That's generational money.
Right.
Where you can set up your family for generations to come. I mean, it's very, very difficult to look past that. And anybody that says that they're not considering the money is lying to you, because the world revolves around being able to take care of you and your family. And the uncertainty of golf is hard enough. And when somebody gives you a guaranteed contract for, multi millions of dollars and some security, where that at the end of that thing you're going to be taken care of and you're going to be in a better spot, it would be hard to turn down. I'm just speaking for myself. It would be very hard to turn down. With that being said, some of the players who've won multiple events and multiple majors, that went over to the Live, what more do they have to prove? They were just, and then there's other guys that that had kind of a volatile career on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
We're looking for a little financial security in their later years. So, like I said, I hate the division in golf, but you can't blame them for trying to do something different. And, there are parts, I think when it's all said and done, there's going to be parts that we take from the Live and the PGA Tour, we can combine them, and we're going to figure this all out, but it's going to take some time.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's well said. And I think you're already seeing that. I think the commissioner decided on these special events that they have, where they have some really, really nice payouts. That's to compete. That's to keep some of the guys, on the PGA Tour.
Right.
But, with professional athletes, their lifespan, so to speak, is only for so long, and you got to get, it's about the money. You got to get it while you can, for your security, your family's security. Like you say, that's a good way to put it. It's generational money, and they've got a hell of a lot of it, so they're going to be around for a while. Thoughts about rolling back the golf ball, as a couple of organizations want to do?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan in rolling back the golf ball as much as I'm a big fan of dividing the rules. I think that we're getting to the point where it's just the game is too hard. We need a division in rules between the tour and the amateurs, and I know that goes against the grain of what people really want.
Yeah,
but for me, the long putter anchored for the Mr. Haverkamp, a hot ball, a hot club. Let's do something where the guy enjoys himself. God forbid you're supposed to have fun playing this game, and they make it, the USGA and the RNA and have made some decisions that are questionable, in my opinion, to making the game more fun. Now, I certainly am not talking about the tour player. I'm not talking about the upper elite amateur players that play in the USAM and the mid-ams and things like that. I'm just talking about your country club golfer, the average golfer that we play every day. I wish there was a way to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit easier for those guys. I loved what Mark King back in the day was trying to do with hack golf, with the bigger holes and the hotter clubs and things like that. Never really took off, but I don't know. I don't think you'll ever see the rules divide, but I'd just like to see it be a little bit more fun. I know from a teaching standpoint, I see it every day. The game is really, really difficult.
Yeah. And that's what I tell people, that call me and whatever. I said, it's just a phenomenal game. You're never going to master it. This is really a hard damn game. You're going to get neurotic, frustrated, just like the rest of us. But that's what it's about. And you could play this game till you're almost dead, travel, beautiful golf courses, meet nice people, but you got to have fun. You got to have fun with it. It's you don't want to go out and do something that's aggravating. Tom, when does getting fitted, you hear a lot about this, getting fitted for clubs really start to make a difference in a player? Obviously, somebody that's brand new, it's been playing for 6 months, he's not going to go in and no reason to get fitted and spend a lot of money for clubs. At what level do you suggest to your students they should maybe even start thinking about getting fitted for some clubs?
I think you should get fit from day one, but I think you should also get fit from day one in at different levels. In other words, when you have a brand new beginner, come to me and say, "Hey, look, my wife wants to play, my husband wants to play. He doesn't know or she doesn't know the first thing about what's going on. Let's get the right length, loft, lie, and flex, and let's start there." Which is a very basic fit that all professionals can get them situated on.
Right.
As you start moving up the ladder, I think once you've made the decision that this is what you want to do, this is what you want to spend your money on, and you're really going to play and practice. You're going to play on the weekends. You're going to practice during the week, and you've really made the decision to go to that next level. I think it's when it's fortuitous to go see a professional club fitter. One of my best friends in the industry is Scott Felix from Felix Club Works out of Collierville, Tennessee, and he basically fits all levels of players, and he sees so much benefit out of the fitting that we've had this conversation many times. He says, look, if I can fit them, it's going to help you to teach them, and I really think that once you get to the point where you've made that decision to go to the next level, whatever level that might be, breaking 100 or breaking 70. You need to find a good club fitter, and it works in conjunction with the teacher. Yeah,
that's true. It makes your job a little bit easier, makes your life a little bit easier, and makes that happen. All right, Tom, we're up against another hard break. Stay right there. Don't move. We're going to be back, folks, with more with Tom Stickney right after this. Hi, I'm Dennis Silvers, host of the 19th Hole Podcast for Golfers, here to tell you about a product that's improved my game, Poptical sunglasses. Unlike ordinary sunglasses, Popticals are collapsible using a unique rail system that lets you easily store them in their protective case. They offer crystal clear vision, UV protection, and are scratch resistant and water repellent. Made in Italy, they look great on and off the course. Plus, Popticals come with a 2-year warranty, a 30-day return policy, and make the perfect gift for the golfer in your life. Visit Popticals.com for more info.
As golfers, we want instant gratification when it comes to a better golf swing and playing better golf. Impossible, you say? Not anymore. Golf Boost Artificial Intelligence, AI, has developed and patented the most advanced swing analysis technology in golf. Simply, the algorithms detect your body position and then analyze your golf swing using their artificial intelligence technology. The AI captures all the relevant data from your swing video and then presents you a personalized lesson. Golf Boost AI is the ultimate swing analysis and virtual instruction system for golfers of all ages and abilities. This sophisticated software takes into consideration your height and build, playing level, and returns the ideal solution for your swing. Bottom line, Golf Boost AI is an incredibly convenient and cost-effective tool for golfers to improve their swing. Go to golfboost.com and check it out. The app is free to download and try. Visit golfboost.com today.
All right, I told you we'd be back. I'm not lying to you. We're going to continue our great conversation with Tom Stickney. And Tom, I'm curious as to this. If you were commissioner for a day on the PGA Tour, what one or two changes would you make?
One or two changes I would make as a commissioner of the PGA Tour. I would make me exempt for life. No, I'm just kidding. No, so I can play tour golf for life. So I can play all the great golf courses. No, I really think the one thing that really bugs me, and I don't know, and I think it's just me, but the whole thing in a ball in a divot just yanks my chain. You get down there, you hit a great drive, you get down there, and the ball's in a divot. They've sanded the divot, which technically makes it. You're repairing the ground, so why isn't it not ground under repair?
Yeah.
You know, and should be able to drop it out of there. I would like to see that, and then I think commissioner for a day, put him on a shot clock. I'm so tired of seeing slow play. I don't want to go out and play golf when it's slow. You don't want to go out and play golf when it's slow.
No.
There was a stat on I don't remember if it's Facebook or Instagram. It said that the last round of the tournament in Palm Springs, they played the first 11 holes in 3 hours and 30 minutes in the last group. And I've played the stadium, 25 times, out west. I mean, yes, it's hard, but those guys are the best in the world. They're hitting it straight down the middle. They're not spraying it all over. So I think a shot clock is a necessity, and the divot would be the other thing I would do.
Yeah, and
in addition to making myself lifetime exempt.
No, and I would vote for that in a second to give you an exemption for life. But the shot clock is interesting because I've been reading stuff where a lot of the players kind of favor it, and some don't. They don't feel they need it. But you're right, slow play is not good for anybody. And especially, you get behind a slow group on the weekend, and you're going, come on, this really should not take 5 hours, okay? And that's one of the reasons that the game has lost players. They go, I just don't have that much time to give up during the day. I'm too busy, and it's not necessary. And you see these guys walking around the putting green, checking out a putt for 10 minutes, and come on, hit it already. It's 3 feet, and
Right.
It is what it is. How much golf are you playing these days? So I know you're busy teaching.
I would love to say that I play, 10 times a month, but the reality of the fact is I get paid to teach, and that's what the clubs, pay me to do, and that's what they want me to do. So I don't get a chance to play that much during the seasons. During the off season, the shoulder seasons, that's when I do a lot of my playing. So you won't see me on the golf course that much during the season unless it's playing with members or in playing lessons, as far as playing for fun.
Yeah.
Every now and again I'll go out there, but I try to get out there as often as possible. But, the way I look at it is as much as I work, if I have 4 hours to spend on the golf course, I'd probably rather go home early and spend time with my partner and spend time with her and let her and I do something fun, as opposed to worrying all about me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. As I mentioned, you're the director of instructions at two great clubs. I love Bighorn. And how long do you stay there before you move to Utah?
At Bighorn, I'm there from basically November to May, and then from the middle of May to the first part of end of September. in Utah. So it's a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed the going back and forth and having some fun doing that.
Yeah.
It's always great to see, and it's funny because during the seasons, as it ebbs and flows during the season, people get tired of seeing one another. They get antsy, ready to go back home, and
Sure.
and you're the same way. They're tired of seeing you. You're tired of seeing them, and it's time for a new club full of golfers.
Yeah.
It's just like everything else. Everything has its clicks and its timing, and sometimes you need a little break from each other, and everything is great.
Yeah. You brought up something that I was going to ask you about, and that is about playing lessons. I've talked to a lot of great teachers like yourself, and some have different opinions. They feel a playing lesson is very, very beneficial. Others don't think that it's that beneficial and stuff. I think if it's the right kind of playing lesson, it's very beneficial. What's your thoughts on that?
Are you playing golf swing or are you playing golf? If you're focusing on playing golf swing and that's really all you care about, and you're what I call a ball beater, you spend more time on the range because you enjoy that facet of the game.
Right. Right.
My father was a range rat. He loved to hit balls, and he probably played golf swing a little bit more than he played golf. He played on the weekends, but if he had a chance, if he had just because of timing, he had more time to hit balls, so he would do that. And I think so. He leaned more in the camp of I'm going to hit balls, and I'll play a little bit. And then I think you've got the other people that play a whole bunch. So for me, the playing lessons are helpful to all levels of golfer, but I do think if you're playing golf swing, you'll probably spend a little bit more time on the range, a little less time playing golf. But I still think you should get out there. I mean, let's face it, that's what it's all about getting on the golf course and seeing what you can do. So you need to test yourself every now and again, if that's indeed what you want to do. But if you just like hitting balls and you like going to the range, that's fine too.
That's okay.
It's your entertainment.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that brings me to another one. Do most amateurs practice wrong on the range, Tom? They get out,
100.
first thing they do is pull their driver out, and I'm going to see how far I can hit this puppy. And you got to have a method to working on the range. You got to do it the right way.
No question. And there's been countless books that have been written about golf instruction, and there have been very few that have been written on practicing techniques.
Right.
Adam Young has the practice manual. I highly recommend you go to Amazon and pick it up. It's absolutely fantastic about how to practice. John Dunnigan has just come up with a new app, and it just came out. I just saw it, heard about it at the show. I can't remember what it's called, but just Google John Dunnigan. He's a top 100 teacher, and he's got a new app that will teach you how to practice. And I think we're going to see the resurgence or a surgence of those apps coming out and those books coming out and helping you to spend more quality time. I mean, it's like anything else. I always tell people, look, I'm not asking you to make a high number of repetitions. That's called exercise. I'm asking you to make a high number of correct repetitions, and that's called practice.
Right. Yeah, that's a great distinction. Well, in that same vein, what's your opinion on training aids? Do you use them in your lessons, and what's your overall feeling on them?
I use them to teach a feel, and then quickly take them away. I don't want you to become dependent on a training aid to get that feeling. The whole point of a training aid is for you to understand the difference between where you are positionally right now, where you want to go positionally in the future, and that's the feeling difference. Whether it's something with your wrist or something with your shoulders or what have you, but giving that player let's just use the wrist for example. Giving that player that feeling of, okay, this is better. This is worse. This is where we want to be. This is not where we want to be. And then, do you feel the difference between these articulations? I think that's where training aids come in. But here again, if you just do nothing but hit balls with something on your wrist or something on your shoulders or something on your feet, you're just defeating the purpose.
Yeah, true. And I wonder how Homer Kelly figured out a flat left wrist is the way to go, which I happen to agree with, but try to do it. It's not that easy.
No, it's
And
not.
yeah, it's terrific. All right, so what is in the future for Tom Stickney?
The future for Tom Stickney is just teaching away. I'm 53 and just continuing to do what I'm doing. I've had a great career. I've been a lot of wonderful places, and I'm very, very lucky to do this for a living. Still can't believe after 30 some odd years, I get paid to go to the golf course every day.
That's great. Woo!
Love what I do, and I'm very, very fortunate. I think you're going to start to see AI take over the golf instructional world. There's companies like Sportsbox that are doing a really good job of taking 2D video and turning it into markerless 3D. Yes, it has a way to go before it's as accurate as we'd like it to be, but there's a lot of good information that you can glean from even some stuff that has a couple questionable values. Here again, it's not that it's telling you, it's not to the degree. It's kind of, for the most part, it's pretty close to what's happening. So, I think you see a lot of that. I know Gears is coming up with a markerless system. That I did see at the show. I know Swing Catalyst is also coming up with a 2D, AI-driven system as well. So I think you're going to start to see that. But I'm really, really excited to see how AI is going to change the golfing world. And if you haven't seen Sportsbox, go take a look at it. If for no other reason, just to see what they can do. It's pretty.
I know. Yeah.
Pretty.
It's coming. AI is coming. It's interesting to see how that is going to change. How that is going to change golf a little bit. Well, when you're in Bighorn, can you jump in the car and come down to Vegas for a day or two and bring some cash, and we'll go tee it up?
I love it. You know what? First of all, I love Vegas. It's 3.5 hours through the desert to get to Vegas.
Come on down.
I tell you what, it's just far enough away where you can't make a radical decision at about 11 o'clock at night to come down and go to Vegas. But I love Vegas, and I tell you what, I will bring some money. And remember, all bets are won on the first tee, so I'm not going to part with it that easy. But we'll have some fun with it.
Well, that's what I say. That's what they say. Fast pay makes fast friends. So just all I'm asking for is two aside, Tom. And
there you go.
And we'll go. But I'd love to have you come down and
Thank you so much.
And play some golf with you. That would be great. But anyway, I can't thank you enough for spending time on the show. It was absolutely great. We're going to have to get you back on sooner than later because I know you're busy.
They make me work around this place. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, that's, it is what it is. But anyway, I want to thank you again. It was a great interview, and you're a credit to the profession. And we'll be talking to you soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Dennis, and you have a wonderful day. And
thank you, Tom.
Hit them straight.
You got it. Thank you. Tom Stickney, everybody. Great guy, great instructor. All right, we're going to step away, take our last break. We'll come back, and we're going to wrap up the show. The Revolutionary Power to Golf Club is helping golfers around the world continue to enjoy the greatest game of all. This amazing club requires no swing to hit shots from 50 up to 225 yards. That's right, no swing to hit shots, including fades, draws, low shots, as well as high ones. One incredible club does it all. Golfers with a wide variety of physical issues, including bad backs, hips, shoulders, and more, are now back in the game golfing with friends and family. Just set the club to the desired distance, and with a push of the button, the easy-to-use Power to Golf Club launches shots down the fairway and onto the green. The Power to Golf Club has been endorsed by some of the biggest names in golf, and the number of golfers enjoying the game by use of our unique technology continues to grow. Whether a physical issue or just want to join in on the fun, the Power to Golf Club is for you. Don't be left on the sidelines. Get back in the game today. Visit at powergolfclub.com. One of the perks about being in golf media is that I get to try every club ever made. Of course, like most things, some are better than others. I'm here to tell you that I have found unquestionably the absolute best performing set of irons I have ever played, and my scores show it. Let me introduce you to Grindworks, custom-fitted irons that are made to fit your game. Grindworks offers players 3 different styles of irons. You can choose muscle-back irons, cavity-back irons, and even blades, along with some awesome wedges. And when you purchase your clubs, Grindworks lets you choose the type of shaft you want. the type grip you prefer, and even will adjust the loft and lie of your clubs if needed. That's unheard of. So what are you waiting for? Feel the power and experience and performance of these amazing clubs. Simply go to grindworksusa.com or call 281-651-4046 to order. Trust me, your handicap will love you for it. All right, welcome back, everybody. So on behalf of Tom Stickney, I'm Dennis Silvers. We appreciate you watching the show. That's going to wrap it up for this edition. Great interview with him. And next week, we've got a great show. We've got a former LPGA Tour player. I believe she's a 10-time winner. She has started a new women's tour that you're going to be hearing a lot about. We're going to have her on. We're going to have the commissioner of that tour on as well, so you don't want to miss it. It's just a fascinating story. So until then, get out and play some golf, keep it in the short stuff, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place, everybody. So long.